Mequon Municipal Water Utility Commission. And why don't we call the roll?
Commissioner Strelchuk,
I thought she was leaving.
Commissioner Talaco, Commissioner Meyer, Commissioner Hancher,
Here.
Commissioner Bach,
Here.
Commissioner Parrish,
Here.
Commissioner Schneider,
Here.
Commissioner Gebhardt, Commissioner Nervin.
Here. First is approval of the meeting minutes from May 9th.
Move approval.
Motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Next are three discussion items. The first among them, a authorization of execution of an agreement for water service for the property at 6,000 West County Line Road to connect to the Village of Brown Deer water utility. Is there a motion or any discussion required? Why don't we give a quick overview?
Sure. This is a property that's on County Line Road. Our water mains are nowhere near here, about 16 blocks away from this particular location. Due to zoning of the land in this area, it's unlikely that we would have water main down there anytime in the near future. Recently, about a year ago, 5300 West County Line Road also approached the board and requested to be connected to the Brown Deer water utility, and the board extended that offer at that time. The staff feels that this is something we would recommend for this particular property, as Brown Deer has water main right in County Line Road.
Thank you. Yeah, we're 16 blocks away. Brown Deer's right across the street, so seems like a no-brainer to me.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further comments or questions? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item's approved. Next, we have an authorizing a memorandum of understanding with River Lake Homeowners Association for water supply for emergency response plan. This is something we haven't seen in a while, so maybe we've got some new members. Give a quick overview of this as well.
Sure. As part of working with the DNR, DNR identified that River Lake needed to update their emergency response plan. One of the tenets or things that the DNR likes to make sure is in place is backup water supply in case they have problems with their own water supply. The utility in the past, it started at We Energies when the utility was first, inception and started growing. They started absorbing water trusts, and kind of as a part of absorbing and bringing these water trusts onto the municipal water utility, we ended up getting into these emergency water supply agreements with these water trusts because they would have them between each other. And then as we acquired one of the water trusts, then we found out that, well, there was an interconnect agreement between the two, so the utility entered into these agreements. So we haven't done one in the past, but in the recent past, but we have several of these interconnection agreements, emergency water agreements. We have provided emergency water to water trusts in the past. In fact, Alberta Water Trust in Thiensville has connected several times to us due to issues that they had with their well, and ironically, we're meeting with them sometime in the near future to talk about the possibility of connecting them over. I think once they receive the water and understand the quality involved, sometimes that's one of our better sales tools. We have put together this emergency interconnect agreement between the water utility and River Lake, and it's therefore we're recommending that we authorize this agreement.
Thank you. Any further questions from the Water Commission? Commissioner Parrish.
Yep, just me. Thank you, Director Voigt. I'm definitely in favor of approving this. It kind of just led to some other thoughts in my head. So do all the other HOAs have these emergency response on file where there's private water?
Yes, the DNR requires all public water utilities to have an emergency response plan. A lot of them, like I'll give you an example, on the east side of the freeway, The water trusts over there, like Beechwood Farms, Pines, Haddonstone, they all have agreements between each other. So there's valves there, and they interconnect between each other if they have issues and things of that nature. So they just identify what will be your emergency plan for water supply should you have a problem with your water supply.
So they're each other's backup, and then the city is essentially all of their backups. They hook into a main when there's catastrophic failure, and then is there a limit? Like for Thiensville, that HOA, you're concluding that it would just be more economical for them to hook in. Will they pay that hookup charge as the developer, so to speak?
Could you pull your mic just a little bit closer?
Sorry.
I think it's on, but
Yes, it should be on. So we would hook up to systems that we have agreements with, and how it works is we have like a bulk water rate in our tariff that we then charge them for the water that they purchase, because we'll have a meter in line with the two hydrants that are interconnected. And then we also charge for staff's time to run out, obviously load everything up, get it on site, sanitize the hose. We have to obviously chlorinate and sanitize the hose before the interconnect, and then turn the system on and get it up and running. So there's two pieces of the puzzle. One is the actual rate that they pay, which is in our tariff, and then the other one is the staff time for setting everything up.
Great, but ultimately the developer would pay to hook in that case.
The homeowners association, the subdivision, pays that cost, correct? Yes.
Okay. But this agreement doesn't contemplate permanent failure of a well, and so that would be negotiated upon that situation. This is just for temporary emergency backup.
Correct. Yeah, this is to get them through, like if they have a well failure, it's going to take them 3 days to get the pump out of the hole, fix the pump, put the pump back in the hole. This provides their residents with water until they can fix that catastrophic failure.
Great, thank you very much, and I would move to accept this emergency response plan for the River Lake Homeowners Association.
Second.
motion and a second. Thank you for that. Commissioner Meyer.
So it looks like the connection is going to go across the road then?
Yes.
So there's contingency plans in the case that used for the police department and for notification, because I would assume that's a pretty good sized hose that's going to be going across there.
Correct. It'd be a 2.5-inch fire hose, and the plan would be right now to notify the residents. There's another way in and out of the subdivision to the north, so that we would just redirect them to the north, and we put barricades across the southern entrance where that hose is, so that people don't drive over it.
Okay. There's not like ramps that they can.
We do have ramps. I'm sorry, we don't own ramps, but if it becomes something that they would prefer to have ramps, then we would have the water trusts acquire the ramps.
Okay.
Because it's for their convenience, not for the water utilities' convenience.
Okay.
Good questions. Thanks for those. Any other questions from the commission? We haven't seen one of these in quite a while, so
Yeah.
good opportunity to learn how things work. We have a motion and a second. Are there any further comments or questions? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is also approved. Lastly, we have an authorizing the contract to replace 6 hydrants and 2 valves to UPI of New Berlin, Wisconsin, in the amount of $94,930. Maybe also a quick overview.
Sure. As part of our annual maintenance, I'm sure you've probably seen the operators around the utility either flushing hydrants and greasing and maintaining the hydrants, or turning valves and exercising valves throughout the system. We do that for twofold. One is, for flushing, obviously it's for water quality. We want to get any debris that's in the main out of the main. If there's any stagnant water, we want to remove the stagnant water. But the other thing that we're looking for is, these are all mechanical pieces of equipment. They eventually fail. So if we identify hydrants that are broken and we can fix them, we do the repairs. If we identify hydrants that are beyond repair, those need to be replaced. So we had identified, we've got more than 6, but we are going to replace 6 this year, hydrants in the system that are beyond repair that we want to replace with brand new infrastructure, so it's there for the fire department and for the water utility to utilize. We put together a bid package, bid it out. This is the results of the bid, and The money is available in our capital account, so we would like to move forward with making the repairs.
Thank you. Any further questions from the commission?
Move approval.
Motion and a second, I heard. Hearing or seeing no other comments, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that item is also approved. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?